Welcome everybody to the Certified Angus Beef Brand Facebook Farm Tour. We are live from Atterholt Farms in Jeromesville, Ohio.
Hi, I'm Aaron Atterholt. This is my son Tyler, daughter Natalie and Claire, and my brother Mike. I'll let him introduce his family.
Yep. Hello, I'm Mike Atterholt. This is my wife Mandy, our youngest daughter Callie, and our oldest up here Macy, 11 and 8.
And there's Maggie. So we're excited you're with us today. We're going to tell you a little bit about the history of our farm and how things got started and where we are today.
All right, thanks for joining us here today. This is a very typical farm for Ohio, a Midwestern farm. We're very diversified. We have an Angus cattle operation along with a row crop and a trucking operation on the side of that with 2 employees in the truck. So it kind of takes everything to make things roll here, and we're going to tell you a little bit about our operation here today. As you can see in the back down here, some cows and maybe some calves. The grass is pretty tall here today, so it's a good forage here for them. We're staying in a pasture with some orchard grass, ryegrass, and some medium red clover.
Yeah, like Aaron said, this Mandy and I live on this farm. We bought it in 2002, so been here nearly 18 years. It's hard to believe that. As you can see, it's got a good amount of roll to it. It's good cow country, maybe a little better suited for cows than it is row crops. That's why we decided to run cattle on this place. When we bought it, there wasn't much for fences. It's old broken down woven wire. We removed and replaced all those with a little more modern high tensile. That was in, I think it was 2004 until we got to that. So we had the property a couple years before we actually got any cows on the place. That time the first cattle we brought here was a group of 9 Angus females and then a group of about 8 or 9 commercial cows. Some of those little semi-cross, at that time some club calf genetics, and we had the group of Angus females and a registered Angus bull, and that's how we got into that registered Angus cattle.
We got our passion for farming and cattle actually when we were kids with Dad and Grandpa. We started showing steers in 4-H, and that kind of progressed. And we'd always buy our steers. We thought, well, maybe we can have our own cows and raise our own calves. So that was back in probably the early 90s. We bought our first cow-calf pairs, and that was an FFA project. So kind of started out really with, like Mike said, Simmental cows, and worked our way into the Angus cattle in 2007.
First question we had is, can we buy beef from you?
Yeah, that's been a pretty common question here the last couple months. We could probably sell as much freezer beef as we had. Our trouble we're running into now is, our local packers are really swamped.
Another question is, how many cows do you have?
Yeah, this year we calved out just over 100, right around 105 cows. That was in January, February, and March. So we got those cows, and then as far as that goes, there's replacement females. There's about 40 head of bred heifers right now, so sitting around 150 head of bred females.
Mike, when we're walking into the barn, can you tell us a little history of this farm and when you bought it, or how many generations it's been in the farm?
Yeah, like I said, we bought this farm in 2002, and it belonged to Aaron and I's great-grandparents prior, and they passed away in 91. It was sold, so our great-grandparents owned it until 91. It was sold. It was out of the family for about 11 years. Our dad cash rented it at that time, about 11 years, and then when those owners were ready to sell, we had first opportunity to buy the property back. Yeah, in this farm here, there's about 60 acres of pasture. Across the road, there's another nearly 70 acres that we're working on getting fence around that. And then there's also some rented pastures that we take heifers to. So we're kind of spread out throughout the summer, and then at wintertime bring everything back home, closer to home, so it's easy to tend to the stock and feed them and do chores.
My name is Macy Atterholt. I am in the 4-H club called Mohican Country Kids, and I show market steers and heifers. The smallest red and white one, the one behind the other one, is a fall-born heifer, that weighs 660 pounds. She is a polled Hereford. Her dad is Fort Knox, and her name is Selena. And moving on to this black market steer. He is an Angus. He is out of a traction bull, and his mother is Lucy, and he's a market steer, and he weighs 1,116 pounds. The best red and white one, he weighs 896 pounds. He's a polled Hereford. His sire is beef, and he's a market steer.
What's your name?
Claire.
Claire, and how old are you?
7.
7, and what's your calf's name?
Pumpkin.
Pumpkin. Good. And who's this?
I'm Callie, and I have my calf here, Diamond.
Diamond. How old are you, Callie? 8. All right. And what's your name? Natalie. How old are you? 5. And what's your calf's name? Goldie. Very good. So these are the next generation of the Atterholt kids coming up through 4-H. And there's Tyler. He's just 1.5. So he has a heifer. Well, we want to thank you guys for joining, and keep eating beef.